Okay. Welcome everyone to this very special session with Jean-Louis of Biomusic One. And we are, since Jean-Louis has been here before, we're not going to waste a lot of time talking about what he is and what he's doing because you all know about that. You've read about it in the emails. We want to get straight to getting us all in a beautiful, calm mood. For those of in the US, no matter who you voted for, it was a crazy day yesterday. So we are feeling a lot of stress and tension, and we need some decompression. So, Jean Louis, I'm just going to hand it right over to you.
Thank you, Leah, and thank you so much for organizing that session once again. So, second session together, and yes, this time instead of concentrating on the theoretical aspect and explaining what biomusic is all about, we wanted to organize a session where, through a series of three sonic meditation, but Leah didn't tell you, but there is a surprise as well at the end of this session. We have planned with my creative partner to offer you a bonus session at the end. It will be a session that we won't need to share experiences after that one, because it will be like the ending of the whole time we're going to spend together. And what we wanted to do is give you a final sonic meditation that will leave you, let you go on your day on special, or let's say, sonic vibration that should help you carry on the day on a high, if I could say, on a really good, peaceful, self-centered, grounded, connected state of being. And hopefully this will also help you to let yourself be inspired by life, to position yourself in the best way possible, so that you really carry on expressing the best that you have to offer, regardless of what's going on around you, and regardless to what's going on in our country as well, and in our world as well, because so much is going on at the moment all around the world anyway. The most important thing really for us is to make sure at any moment of our lives, is to make sure that we can be at peace with ourselves here and now, fully aware of what interacts with ourselves, without judging anything, without getting affected by anything, and just remaining neutral. There are ways of doing that, and maybe many ideas have come to me that I will share with Leah in the future, for maybe a future session where we'll share different ways of looking at life, and keys, what we call keys of life, that really help us to deal with every moment, and being able to transform them to our advantage, transform them, transmute the negative energy into positive energy, and transform any situation in a creative way, to be able to move forward in a creative way in our lives. And Biomusic One is a very good way to support that. And this is why we will invite you tonight. Well, this morning, sorry for you. I keep saying tonight because it's night time for me. Nearly, it's 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. The idea is really to enable you to feel today what it is like to be reconnected to oneself, and to feel good here and now with no preoccupation, although there could be so many reasons to be preoccupied in our lives. And this is what the purpose of this session is all about. So the best way for those of you who were not there at the first session, during which we did a couple of sonic meditation as well, if I remember well, the best way to experience them is to totally let go. And to let go is very easy. You just need to become an observer of what's happening within yourself while you are listening to the music. So there will be three sonic meditation of 2 tracks each, and then we will end with one bonus sonic meditation of 2 tracks as well, but which we will not comment, as I said before. And the idea is to just pay attention to yourself, Do not try to control, analyze, remember anything that happens. Just observe what will happen within yourselves at every level, whether it is physical, emotional, psychic, spiritual, sensorial. Anything can happen with biomusic sonic meditation. You will be in a state of a higher state of consciousness, and also able to feel rebalancing that occurs at very subtle level, but it might feel that it's happening at the physical level. So if you feel that there are some weird sensations that happen in your body, just don't worry about it. Just receive them, welcome them, and observe them, and leave them as such, and enjoy the musical journey. And what we'll do after each sonic meditation, we'll have a short break, and I invite you to use the chat to actually, you will have a first inner observation of yourself while you listen to the music, and I invite you to do a second type of observation whereas you let come out what you think was important for you to experience during that sonic meditation. And this is a way to actually enhance the recognition of what your body has started as a process of liberating and rebalancing itself and reharmonizing itself. So let your body do the work. Don't interfere with your mind. Let your mind aside. Just welcome anything that happens to you. The body never starts a liberating process that it is not able to control fully. So there is absolutely no side effect, nothing with biomusic, except a liberating and harmonizing process. So feel confident about this, welcome everything, and just let it go. Let it be and let it go. And that's it. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to start. I'm going to share my screen, but I will stop the video just to make sure we have a very good audio signal. And then I will keep my mic on, because what I will do is actually guide you to the first one. It's a very simple one, and then after that you can do the same to the other sonic meditation. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen for you. So whether you like or you don't like it, the music is totally irrelevant. Don't worry about that. Don't let your mind distract you because of the musical aspect of the music. It doesn't matter at all. But what is important is that you pay attention to what's going on really in yourself. I really stress this more than anything else. Okay, we're ready for that. So I invite you to close your eyes, feel comfortable, sit down comfortably, close your eyes, make sure no one is going to disturb you. If you have your pet with you, your animal friends, then fantastic, it's great, they're going to love it, I'm sure. So just, voila, put yourself comfortable, and you can actually pay attention to your breathing, but don't try to change it in any way. It's just paying attention just at the beginning, then forget about your breathing. And I invite you to say inside, yourself, you may want to say I am, and then your first name. For example, I am Jean-Louis. So inside myself, I'm going to say I am Jean-Louis consciously. It's a very simple but very powerful way to put yourself back on your identity here and now. And from then on, you will be in the best possible state to actually go through that sonic, enjoy that sonic meditation. Okay, here we go. I wish you a really nice trip, really nice journey with these first two tracks.
every moment, every moment.
I let you come back to your being aware of your breathing, and then you can open the eyes whenever you feel like it, and start using the chat to write down whatever you feel is important to you. There was an abrupt ending to the first track, and this is because it's taken from the album Monte Cristo 3, which is mixed. The whole album is mixed and is a complete journey. And I will explain to you. I don't want to give an explanation for now. I just want you to just experience things, and then I will give you some information on why the choice of those tracks and how they're going to have a cumulative effect throughout the 3 sonic meditation together, and the last one as well as a bonus. So for now, you take a few minutes to write down whatever you feel is important for you to take note of, from what you've experienced, and also if you would like to share how you feel at the end of the first session. Has your state of mind changed? Have you noticed a change of being already or not? Or have you noticed that anything that's happening at this part of the body or other part of the body? Or how do you feel inside?
A lot of people, so some people dozed off, Kelly, and looks like Kate feels calmer and very sleepy. Norma felt waves of energy going up and down her body. Yeah, so did I. Oh, Kelly's cat fell asleep. That's good. Kathy Flanagan says the internal chatter stopped. That's big. I felt so much physical healing, especially around my throat, right? So I felt that was really positive. Claudia says, oh, yeah, she felt the same as Kathy, that the internal chatter stopped. And Norma says, I feel some energy around me and finally relaxed. And Melissa Sherman says, I could feel waves of energy too. My mind quieted, very helpful today. And then Kelly says, Kelly McDermott Burns says, very buzzy. Yeah, I agree. Carolyn Drew says, first track, I felt happy and very teary, happy, emotional. Second track felt like regrounding. Oh, I love that. Yeah, same. And Claudia says, got very cold hands and feet, though. And then Kate Celisti says, again, yes, happily, my mind finally quieted as well. And Elaine says, I drifted off and relaxed deeply. Lori Christmas says, felt gentle vibrations throughout my body, internal chatter still there, but that's okay.
Great.
So yeah.
I'll give a quick feedback on this. If you feel, if you have internal chatter, this is not a problem at all. On the contrary, everything that happens during the sonic meditation is a release. It's a release of stress, whichever way your body decides to release stress and rebalance itself. And sometimes we have internal chatter. So if you have internal chatter, it's not actually your mind being blocked by things. It's actually releasing what was actually before being let's say, disturbing or having an effect on you during in the previous days or moments in your life. And so the main thing there is to pay attention to what comes to you, and just observe it, pay attention to it, and let it go. Because your body is just putting to your consciousness whichever situation in life is affecting you one way or the other. We're not here to try and analyze it, but just by being aware of it, you'll see that this is the best way to open up the inspiration to enable you to deal with it in a different way. So everything that has happened to you during that first session and during all the sonic meditation with Biomusic 1 is always relevant to something you are releasing, rebalancing, or reharmonizing. So this is great. And as you can see, the second track was very dance oriented, very rhythmic, and it doesn't prevented you from being sleepy or feeling relaxed and so on. And this is what biomusic is about. In fact, this first session, because they're all going to be following each other, we use one track from Kinema because this is a good way to start rebalancing without going too much deeper into releasing stress, just general rebalancing, putting things down. And then the second track, we went straight for the first track, Monte Cristo 3, which is the most efficient album to actually take all the traumas from the past, and probably also all the traumas from the latest elections. So this is why we chose it, because it sets everything up from the beginning. You have the opportunity of having a first rebalancing, gentle rebalancing, and straight after a cleaning of any information that might be triggering a reaction, emotional reaction, or all kind of reaction within yourself. So normally after a track from Monte Cristo 3, we have a deep cleaning and we feel strong energy. We're here now, and good, So this is normally what happens, especially if you have the whole album.
I love that.
That's great. That's really good feedback.
I wanted to share just a few more comments because Kristen said, I was surprised at the type of music, nodded off at one point, hopeful to say, I am Kristen, and I don't have my glasses on, Kristen, so I don't want to butcher your last name, but Malka, and happy that I could say this. And I agree with her that saying your name was really powerful, like saying, I am Leah D'Ambrosio was really powerful. And then Gail McLennan said, monkey brain quieted and quit fighting me. Ann Sherman said, first song, I immediately felt my root and sacral chakra begin to light up with burning. My titanium hips began to heat and burn. I moved my body by oscillating and unwinding what I was holding on to. And then I felt my jaw begin to vibrate and I began to release with tears. So much lighter and freeing movements. That's really powerful. And then Mary Lynn Cartwright said, the first track, my upper body was swaying, Reiki energy felt in my hands. The second, my body became heavy and my mind quieted, deep relaxation. And then Emily Sorbel said, first track, I felt like I was soaring. And Mary Lynn Cartwright said, my cat fell asleep. And Elaine says, my cat fell asleep too after nuzzling the laptop and looking for where the sound was coming from. So just wanted to share those really quickly because they're all really great comments. And yeah, really powerful. Thank you so much, Jean-Louis.
This is great. Well, let's move on to the second sonic meditation, and because there's an evolution between the old meditation of this session. So let's move on to that one. I won't need to say again to close your eyes and pay attention to your breathing and so on. Just let go. If you feel like saying again, I am, and your first name, do it. If you don't feel you need it, you don't do it. Just, yourself at, now you've experienced the first one, we can carry on happily with the second one. All right, so I will share my screen again. I'll stop the video and share my my screen so that you can have a really good sonic diffusion from my computer. And we're going to move to another track. It will be very different, be very interesting how this evolves. Alright, I give you a few seconds to settle in. I forgot to mention it, but if you have headphones, feel free to use them. It's very good to experience a sonic meditation with headphones. If you don't have them and you feel comfortable like this, that's fine as well. Here we go.
Hands in the sand, feet in the sea, face in the sun, an empty mind, a free body. In seas and the sun, hands in the sand, feet in the sea, face in the sun.
Here we go. Once again, I invite you to take your time to come back. If you feel good inside, please take time to become fully aware of it. And then when you feel ready, you're welcome to share the experience of that second meditation, sonic meditation.
If you want to just put your comments in the chat, that would be great. At the end, we're going to have an open Q&A where you can. Claudia says, the first track really gave me the feeling that all is truly well. Second track made me feel grounded. Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Claudia, for sharing. I must need a lot of healing in my throat because I just feel it all right here, like just like a lot moving, like almost like shaking, dirt off or something. Oh, okay, here we go. Carolyn said first track very calming, could feel the sun and the sand. I love that second track, a bit jolting. But the arm I'm having issues with felt very, very heavy. Hope that's a sign of healing. Yes, definitely. And then Katie Solsti said the first part, sea, and sun was lovely, uplifting. The second and third were jarring, uncomfortable, and irritating. I had to turn the sound almost off. Yeah. And Jean-Louis, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
About which one? The Kate feedback?
Yeah, like how the music can sometimes feel jarring, or maybe you don't like it, and
Okay, there are two things that can happen. It could be basically that you don't like the music and there's an emotional reaction to it. But as we always invite listeners not to be concerned at all about the artistic aspect, but just pay attention to what happens in your body. Normally, this is not the reason in our sonic meditations, but the most likely reason is that this track is having a profound effect on a liberating level, and very often we can feel uncomfortable or irritated, or we could feel that part of the body is having some kind of like I don't know, not really pain, but you could feel discomfort in one part or other of your body, and this is exactly where the body is actually releasing stress that has accumulated, and that was basically installed within yourself. And what happens is that the body releases that. So in the first instance, we can feel some discomfort, but once the transmutation is complete, then you should feel a sense of liberation, lightness, or being exactly at the same spot where you felt the discomfort. So I invite you to pay attention, because those moments we spend sharing are also moments used to actually integrate the experience you're going through during the listening session. So in this instance, it's Kate, yeah? Kate, I invite you to just accept, welcome what was happening, and then just observe how it's going to evolve while we're going through the sharing of experiences.
Thank you, Jean-Louis. And I just want to share a few more of the comments. Anne Sherman said she felt like the heavy vibrations at the base of her spine from the first music moved up and out of her physical body. And Wilma said the first one, my upper body was swaying with music. The second and third one, my ears felt weird. And then Kristen Malka said, I didn't realize how relaxed I was from the first meditation until we started this one. Deep relaxation continued. My arms felt so heavy, stayed awake, drifting some, but easily got back to saying my name. And Melissa Sherman says, my experience was a little different, but I felt overcome with grief. I could feel it moving and I hope I'm releasing, but I am apparently filled with grief. Good observation. And then Emily said, the first track made me feel joy that wasn't attached to anything. The second felt like things were being stirred up in me and were then released. Ah, it's lovely. And Norma said, first track, I moved my body with the music. Second track, I had a hot spot in my head and it faded away. And then Anne Sharon said, the pain and heavy tension I was gripping in my jaw earlier was completely transmuted, 100% gone, still vibrating now. Gail McLennan said, amazing. During the first track, my dog, Bunny, and Cockatiel all began huge releases. The second one, my dog and Cockatiel's energy fields felt very zappy, and they had to go outside and reground. My 16-year-old pit bull was rolling around going, "Arr." I have sensations, and Monica said, I have sensations like I do in very deep meditations. My lips go together, her head spins, and she never thought she could sleep with this type of music, second track and second part, but she almost did fall asleep. Ah, it's interesting. Thank you, Monica. And Mary Lynn said, wow, the first had me out of the chair, swaying my arms, shaking my arms, and flapping my arms. Felt like I was flying away, very active, very energetic. The second one, again, had me up and bouncing, very aware of energetic legs. And then Kate said, oh, in response to you, Jean-Louis, she said, okay, will do. I felt like Gail's dog and Cockatiel needing to leave and get regrounded. Yes, I get
I'm glad
that.
you stayed. I'm glad you stayed. Because let the process, I really invite you to let the process go, because you will see we'll go deeper and deeper as we move on. And I can see you have more deeper sensation here. Like Monica saying, I'm in a deep meditation. You see, in just a few minutes of listening to Biomusic One, you can go into a state of very deep meditation. That's how quickly we can reconnect to ourselves and liberate whatever is preventing us from feeling peaceful inside. I noted as well, Melissa, about, let me find it, yeah, feeling grief. Again, this is great. The body is releasing something very important there, and I really invite you to let it come out. Just welcome this grief manifesting itself and let it go. Let it be, and you will see after the session, you will feel totally different. And one important thing I want to mention right now is that what you are going through at the moment, you're experiencing sensation and so on, and different feelings. But what is important is that once you take notice of what's happening within yourself, the experience you are going through, they're not happening by chance. They're very relevant to what you are liberating, rebalancing, and reharmonizing. And what you should observe after the session, during the rest of the day, is that an impulse to maybe reposition yourself with regard to whatever aspect of your life that the music helped liberating, So I really invite you to capitalize on this and observe yourself after the session. But we'll come back to this a little bit later. Okay, that's great. Thanks for sharing all this. It is really good.
There's one more from
Yeah,
T. Jean-Louis. She said,
sure.
memories coming back, images of dancing in different ways, feeling in pit of stomach, wanting to come out, but never did, over and over, sensation in mouth. Yeah, really physical. A lot of this is really physical. I'm feeling a lot of what you did.
Yeah. You see things happening in the part of the body that needs to release the stress that was basically there in the first place. We don't need to know why it's there or how it ended up there or what are the causes of that. What is important is that by just being aware that there was something at this part of my body or other part of my body, and or feeling that kind of emotional state, just by being aware of this, you're actually accompanying the process of liberation. And this is what is going to bear fruit after the swimming meditation, concretely speaking, in your life. That's really what Biomusic One is about, Okay, that's fantastic. Let's move on to the third one then. So again, I invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to share my screen again. Please close your eyes and sit down comfortably. Up. I'm going to make sure everything is set up properly here. It is. All right, you don't need to say I am and then your first name all the time. Just, just close your eyes and reconnect with yourself. Wait a few seconds, and then I'll start the music. There you go. So here, while I let you use the chat, just wanted to say that these last two tracks have completed, in fact, the listening of the track from each album of Series 1. And there's a strong progression. And the last track was from Monte Cristo 1. And it's a very powerful album to reconnect to oneself and release deeper stress. So let's see if this has been observed by everyone here.
Well, Anne says that the first song allowed much more lightness than allowed residual heaviness to leave movement, and feelings of happiness move from bottom to top of head. And then the last song, she felt cleansed by this one, lifting body vibes even higher with images floating, pastel swirling colors, much light moving through my entire body. Yeah, it for me too, this one felt like both the songs felt like a big release, especially the last one. And Norma says felt music and vibration in her hips and legs.
Great.
And so, oh, here we go. Anne says it felt complete. Yeah, it does. I feel. I would love to hear if other people feel this too. Feel just kind of different after this. And Carolyn Drew said, do we still get the benefits when we multitask? For example, first two meditations, I lay comfortably. Third meditation, both tracks, I bounce through the meditation.
It's a good question, Caroline. I'll answer it very quickly. You can, there are two ways of listening to biomusic. You can sit down like we do now and put all your attention into listening to what's happening in your body while you listen to the music. This is the best way to have a deeper and faster way of liberating stress and rebalancing the body. But you can also actually, we can also play biomusic one during the day while we do any task during the day. Whether I work, I cook, I watch TV, I am with friends or whatever. I can put it in the background or even in inaudible mode, and my body will still benefit from the rebalancing, but in its own way, at its own rhythm. And the fact that you use the rebounder is a good way of transmuting actually stress, because when we do workshops, in presential workshops, we always have a meditation which is through movement, and we let the music, in fact, animate the body. So some people dance, but some people do funny movements, and in fact it's revealing things to ourselves of part of things in our life that we need to change. For example, once I had a person that was completely blocked, their feet in the ground, he couldn't move at all, and for the whole, well, the idea was to move, let your body move. He couldn't move at all, and he said, in fact, it really opened my eyes to everything that's blocking me in my life. So it's very revealing, that kind of sonic meditation when we use movement. But we don't necessarily need to dance on the music. If we feel like dancing, fine. But sometimes when you let really the music animate your body, it may trigger movement that we're not used to, and that reveals things to ourselves, So that's what I would say, Caroline, to your experience. The last album, Elaine, was Monte Cristo 1. We had all 6 albums. The first one was Kinema, followed by Monte Cristo 3. Then we had Arnica Montana 1, followed by Monte Cristo 2. And then we had Arnica Montana 2, followed by Monte Cristo 1. And there's a whole coherence in this kind of this series of 2 tracks is created especially to have a accumulating effect and a progressing effect. But all the tracks were chosen to be grounding, and we felt this was very important to do that experiment, to give you the experience today afterwards, because we knew it was the day after the election, and we need to reground ourselves. We need to go back to what is essential to us, and not feel disturbed or moved or anything by any outcome, but just recenter, ground ourselves, and let life inspire us to carry on what we need to offer the world. So that was the idea behind the session of today.
And then
Annie's asking what is a rebounder.
we'll let
Probably.
Carolyn, we can let Carolyn answer that. Norma had an interesting question. Does this help with folks with short-term memory issues?
I don't know which way you asking the question. Do you mean if is this going to help people recover better memory? Well, all I can say to you is that we've experimented and is still being used. In France, we have a special care centers for people suffering from Alzheimer disease, and they called EHPAD. And we've had some really good feedback of people who had lost their memories and actually regain strong memories of different parts of their lives. So yes, it is possible. In fact, when we bath in Biomusic One album, there is the sound frequency support the body in a liberating process and a coherence of life, because we are restructuring water and protecting against stress. We have fluidity of information in the body and clarity of information. So this can help actually people regaining memory or even regaining more coherence in their movement. Some people lose that sometimes. So this is possible, yes. We've had a lot of feedback from this.
And then also, if you have earbuds in, this is from Carolyn, do animals benefit even if we're listening to it through earbuds?
Yeah, the animals are connected to humans through the astral body. So whatever album is benefiting you will naturally benefit your animal friends, especially if they're close to you. And if you have earbuds, it doesn't matter, because the sound vibration goes through water and air, water in the body, so they go through all the parts in your body, and the animal feels very immediately the rebalancing in their body. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you listen with earbud, you will notice that your pet is feeling the rebalancing as well. So no problem at all. And Elaine, to answer your question, how is it different from binaural beats? Binaural beats is just a way of rebalancing the two hemispheres of the brain by a frequency difference between the two speakers. Biomusic does that and much more. With Biomusic One, you have a rebalancing of the polarity. So with binaural beats, it's polarity at the level of the brain. So Biomusic One rebalancing polarities, the energy centers, the bodies, and there's a fourth one they call the centralism, and the elements. So I need to think in French to get it right. So you have really a rebalancing in all these things, and because of that, the body is able to actually is regaining all its capabilities to actually better rebalance itself. That's how it works. Marilyn?
Marilyn said, first, dancing again, taking the sadness in my heart and putting it into the light to heal, waving my arms toward my heart, saying, hope, hope. And second, she was swaying in her chair, saying, love, heal, shine my light, be the light. I feel more positive about the future. Wonderful. A rebounder is an indoor mini trampoline. And then Elaine said, the last song she felt, realizations about how she usually manages fear came to her. And immediately after that, she had the realization that she doesn't have to behave that way. She has a choice. She can stop being so silly. This is for you, Leah, right? No more telling herself stupid, just silly. I love that.
This is great.
Norma said, thank you so much. And then Marilyn said, I have the first album in level 1. Do you recommend buying albums in order? Oh, that's a good question, Marilyn.
Marilyn, you can actually, if you have an album and you've played it regularly, you've already had a lot of liberation, stress liberation and rebalancing occurring. What I would suggest is that you listen to your to your body, telling you which is the next album for you. But if you don't have an answer, yes, follow up the order that we recommend, because it's a very, very good way to go through the 6 albums. One thing I wanted to say about Elaine's comments, thank you very much for that comment, is that one of the things biomusic is very good at helping is to actually have conscious realization for ourselves. What do I need to let go? What do I need to change in my life? It's a very good way of accelerating this process and liberating circuits in the body, so that the information that we need to make conscious realization is actually clear to us. It's a lot easier to become more aware of what we need to do, change, modify in our lives to reconnect to ourselves and really enable ourselves to give the best that we have to offer in that incarnation. So yes.
And Elaine is bringing up a very good point. Elaine, do not buy the album through Apple Music or Apple, your Apple app. This is really important because if you buy the album from Apple, Apple doesn't track the albums. So Jean-Louis has no record of whether or not you purchase the album if you do it on the app. We advise you to go to the Biomusic One website and purchase the album that way. And then they give you instructions on how to get that connected to your iPhone. I did that. It's just a better process. And then you can put in the Sarah discount and get 10% off. So I think in US dollars, the albums are about $65. And then with the Sarah discount, you get it for 55. And I know that sounds like a lot for an album, but what I can say is that I have had such huge results with this music. My nephew has insane anxiety. He vomits every day when he's anxious, not every day, but when he's anxious. And when I was taking him down to his college for an interview or something, he couldn't stop vomiting, and we had to drive 3 hours. And so I got him in the car, I told him lay down, and I put the music on, and literally in 15 minutes he was calm, he fell asleep, he woke up because I kept the music playing. He woke up after about an hour, felt really good, felt positive. It was literally I get emotional because nothing has worked for him, and it's awful to watch and have him go through that, and to have that album just completely. And I think the album we listened to was Kinema, and it just completely calmed him down. And even at the house, if I'm like feeling stressed about work or whatever, I just put on an album. I know Monte Cristo 1 was the first album I ever got, Jean-Louis, and it's just a miracle how much peace it brings to the household and to me inside my body. So it's a really easy way to switch off stress and bring in peace. And I just wanted to share that really fast.
Thank you, Leah. What I would like to add very quickly is that two important things. The first one is that if you buy from the app, in fact, Apple and Google increase the price because they take a commission. So really, is that's another good reason not buying from the app. But they forced all developers to sell their products through the app because they take a commission. And so the tariff is higher. So always buy from our web shop, and then when we activate the album, you receive an email to confirm that, and then you can download the album in the app. And the second thing I wanted to mention is that, yes, sure, an album at $55 is a lot compared to other music, but it's not just an album. It's actually, it's like if you were buying a healing session for life. So it's really cheap, really, because every time you need a boost, or you need to rebalance yourself, or you don't feel good and you need to reconnect and liberate stress, then it works for you anytime, any place. And that's what is really good. And with the app, it's really good because let's say you go to a shop and you feel everybody is stressed out, the atmosphere is very heavy. Just put Biomusic on your mobile phone. You'll see it's very, very good, and everyone will benefit from it because it's spread out about 120 meters on a range of 120 meters. So if you're in a shop, everybody is going to benefit from that, and that's great. It's really good. So I would really recommend you to use it in that way. Think of it as an investment in your general well-being and for life, really, because once you have the album in the app, it is for life. If you change your mobile phone, you just re-download the app, it's free, reconnect to it, and you'll see the album you purchased available for download again. And if one day you change your Apple ID or Google ID, just write to us, we reactivate the album with a new ID, and that's it, you have your albums again. So that's
Yeah. And that's the benefit of ordering on your website as opposed to ordering through Apple or Google Play. That really quickly,
that's
Jean-Louis,
right.
Mary Lynn
Hmm?
wanted to know, and I think that this is available on your website. Can you listen to samples of the music before purchasing?
Can I think of what? Sorry, I don't see the question.
It's can she listen to samples of the music, like a little clip of the music before buying the album? So would she go?
Yes, you can. Yes, sorry, I saw the question before. Yes, you can actually, Marine. There are two ways. You can listen to them in the app itself. There is a page in the menu. You will see album info, and here you can actually listen to audio extract of all the titles of each album. And they created especially. You don't need to play each one separately. We created a special sound arrangement of all the 6 tracks, the 30 seconds of each track. And if you listen to your body, you will see that what this album can bring you. It's created especially for that. So you can listen to all 6 albums from Series 1 and the 2 albums from Series 2. And you can also do the same thing on the homepage of our website, which is biomusic1.com, I'll write it down for you, biomusic1.com. It's in the chat.
Thank you for that. And then also, could you tell Elaine again? I think the last song was from Monte Cristo 1.
Monte Cristo 1, yes. I'll write it down as well. That was the last album.
Yeah, that was the last
This
one.
is a very powerful album. Monte Cristo 1 is a journey of initiation. It's a very powerful album too. In fact, if you listen to the lyrics, if you want, we can send you and the lyrics by email. But just the lyrics, if you read them, there are so many levels of conscious realization in the lyrics that you'll see it's a very powerful album to reconnect and become aware of what you're here for. And especially if you follow a spiritual path in your life. It's a very powerful album. If you want, we can have all evening for you if you want, but I don't know, you may not have because things are waiting for you maybe during your day. But if you want, if you feel happy with that, what we are prepared to offer you is a bonus meditation with a track from the last 2 albums as well, the first 2 albums of Series 2, because it's a different process, wellness process, integrated in those albums. And instead of sharing information and giving more information, what I would suggest we do is have a listen, and then if it's okay with you, Leah, we can leave the chat open for 2, 3, 5 minutes without commenting, letting you write down whatever you felt is important for you, because when you write it down, again, I explained, it's the second stage of integrating a liberating process. So it's very useful for you. It's a form of integration. So take time to share that, and then feel free to leave whenever you want. And I think we'll have. I think we plan for a session, Leah, in early December. And
Maybe December or January. Yeah, we'll talk more about that. But yes, we are going to do another session soon.
Yeah, and if we do another session, we will probably do a session in the same vein, but it will be an evolution on the first one. So so really, because we always do it in our ways with Robert, with my creative partner. You can see it as an audio program to go through different stages of liberation. That's how we do things. So.
So really quickly, Jean-Louis, before we go to that, I just want to say that
Sure.
Mary Lynn said when she plays album 1, and I think that's Kinema at the shelter, any barking stops in combination with Reiki, and that's wonderful. FD wanted to know, will this be a replay? You keep getting kicked out. I'm so sorry. Yes, there's definitely a replay on YouTube. And if you go to this Shelter Animal Reiki Association YouTube channel, you'll see the replay by Friday. And then Kate said, oh, she was sorry she had to leave. Thank you, Leah and Jean-Louis. I'm hoping the music played receive will help me release and feel better. And then Elaine said, I agree. There are a lifetime of massages for the album. And then Anne says, unlimited therapy for self and animals. It's a bargain. It really is. And then Monte Cristo, yes. And then Elaine, she has to go. And thank you. So yeah, if you want to start that last session, Jean-Louis, if you want to stay, great. And you can, sorry if I am missing it, but what is the discount code? Oh, I have it.
It's, I think it's BMO. So do you have it here?
Yeah, I do. Just give me 1 second to pull this up. And, oh wait, I don't think I did it in this one. Oh shoot, no, I didn't do it in the last email. Let me give me a second and I will put it. Go ahead and start that, Jean-Louis, and I will put it in the chat.
Sure, I should have got it prepared myself too.
I know, I wasn't even thinking.
I was more into the sharing, the experience itself. All right, so if you're willing to stay for 2 more tracks, here you go. This is very different, you'll see, it's a different wellness process. I look forward to seeing how you experience it. Brilliant. And if you feel like asking me questions later on after this session, please feel free. I'll give you the email address. It's Jean-Louis at biomusic1.com. Please feel free to write to me if you have any question or anything that you would like to clarify about what you've experienced. I'll be very, very happy to answer that. All right, here we go. Let's get ourselves ready for that final lesson. Again, I invite you to close your eyes, sit comfortably, and then I will start the music. And thank you very much for coming in. There you go. There was I love one and I love two. Yes, thank you very much, Wilma, for your feedback as well. Lovely. As we said, we'll leave you to write down whatever you feel is important for you to share. You won't comment on it. And I hope the good vibration from these last two tracks will accompany you for the rest of the day.
Claudia said the last two tracks felt uplifting. She feels re-energized. Thank you so much for this. And Ann Sherman said, felt happy, joyous, and cheerful in my body. I love that. Yeah, it was much different, these last two tracks.
It's those two albums from series 2. It's a different process, wellness process integrated in them. It's deeper harmonization and not deeper, but in different way. With series 1, series 1 helps release past trauma, stress, reconnect to oneself. The more we listen to them, the more we release that kind of stress. But with series 2, just listening to an album enables deep rebalancing, deep reharmonizing. And even though we may still have information that affects us in our everyday life, just listening to one of those albums is sufficient to enable us to overcome a difficult situation. That's the difference in the two processes. That's why they complement each other very well. Because with series 1 we do a deep liberating process over time. With series 2 we reconnect deeply immediately with what is essential to us, and that enables us to better cope with whatever difficult situation we may go through. There are two different ways of rebalancing, basically.
Love that. And then Wilma said, toe tapping and happy. Emily Sorville said, thank you. I feel like a weight has been lifted off her shoulders. And then FD said, beautiful, so much gratitude. I feel relaxed, but on fire at the same time. Something is happening and that I feel is a healing process. I love that, FD. And Alice said, what was the name of the last two tracks from series 2?
I play the first tracks of each album. So the first one is called Yin, and the other one Substance. We worked on the grounding. We worked on the polarity. Sorry, with this, we worked on the feminine polarity with those two albums. The first one, I Love One, goes through all the energy centers. We always open up the body first with the polarities. So with I Love One, it's polarities at the physical level, Yin Yang, and with I Love Two, polarities at the subtle level, spiritual level. It's called substance and conscience. They just named, but so you had a deep rebalancing at the level of the feminine polarity within yourself.
And maybe, Jean-Louis, you can type up the names for us so people can be directed, just in case they couldn't write it down or something. That would be great. And then Marilyn said, joy, my dog returned for the last track and we snuggled. T said she felt lighter while doing tasks. Neighbor cat came for a visit. Oh, that's sweet. And then Gail said, love these last two. I could feel my chakras and energy balancing. My animals and I are grateful to you for this experience. Yeah, love that.
That's great. What did you want me to write, Leah? Sorry.
Oh, just if like in the series, what we did, session 1, 2, and 3, and just put the names of the albums and the songs, and that way, if people resonated one, especially like the last two, they can look at those albums and possibly keep watching those. That would be great.
Sure.
Yeah, you can just email that to me. We don't have to do it right now, and I will put it in the recap for everyone.
Okay, perfect. I will do that for you.
And then, Mary Lynn had a question. Can those two new albums, Love, I'm assuming is what she's talking about, can those be purchased before the level 1 series?
Absolutely. Yes, yes, absolutely. You could start with any album with Bio Music One, and you can start with Series Two if you feel it's more you're more in tune with that. No problem at all.
Okay, great. And bye,
Bye,
Claudia.
Claudia.
Thanks
Thank
so much
you.
for
Bye,
coming.
everyone.
So yeah, that's great. Okay, perfect. And yes, you and I will talk about the next session, and we will definitely do that. This was a really great session, and Wilma says she has to go, but thank you so much. Yes, you are welcome. Thank you all so much for sticking around too and experiencing these last two tracks. As you can see, it was really just put it all to I feel in such a great mood. I can't even believe how happy I feel. And then Anne said so much gratitude for this beautiful healing music, perfect timing. It really was. And John Lee and I didn't really plan it. We actually talked about this, but it
Yes.
really was a great day to do this, I think.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for participating. And we look forward to maybe more experiences together.
Oh, it says the website. Lori says she's trying to order, and the website is in French. Oh, Lori, there's a tab where there's language. If you look up on the top, I can't remember, is it the far right,
Yes.
Jean Louis?
Yeah.
There's a little thing, and you can click it. Thank you for bringing that up because you're right. It is in French.
Yeah, so
You can get
the
in.
website is in three languages, in French, English, and Spanish, and you can choose the language at the top right corner, definitely. And does it work? Wilma is asking, will this work during the night?
During the night.
No,
Yeah.
really, absolutely, absolutely, Wilma. You can put My Music One in inaudible mode. You don't cut off the music. You put it to the minimum level so you don't hear it, but it spreads, and you can let it play in loop. For example, if you want one album, you play it in repeat mode, and you let it play all night, and you will have strong rebalancing during the night.
Yes, I did that for my dogs at the beach because they were nervous being in a different place. So I played it at night for them and they were completely peaceful, no barking, no getting up, nothing. Love that.
That's great.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, everyone. This was amazing. I don't know if anyone has any further comments for Jean-Louis, please put them in the chat. Otherwise, we can let everyone go. This was so amazing. Jean-Louis, thank you so much for your generosity and for bringing this
It's a
to all of
pleasure.
us. It's a very stressful day for a lot of us, and this really helped bring in deep peace. Not even just like, hey, I meditated, I feel good. This it feels really deep at a cellular level, like we can really go through our day with some positivity. And Lori says, thank you so much. Yes, of course. Thank you.
Thank you
And
to you all for coming and for experiencing my music one. It's great.